I want you to imagine something. Imagine if you were transported all the way back to the early stages of civilization, whether ancient Rome or ancient Greece or ancient Egypt or any other African ancient kingdom. Language was minimal and you were a merchant. In your merchant kingdom and in your merchant business, you have to explain to your fellow business people how you want a certain order done. But how would you do it? You couldn't speak to them. Storytelling. Storytelling has been with us since the beginning of us as humans, down to the caveman drawings in caves of pictures of someone killing a deer. Storytelling has been with us all the way up till now. And it is one of the most important skills you can learn in your career to improve your relationships, your business, and your overall career. So why are stories so important? Number one, stories allow us to connect with people. They allow us to feel their emotions. When we're telling a story to someone, or when we're listening to someone tell us a story, it enables connection between the two of us. We're understanding how they were feeling, what were their emotions, how did they get out of that situation. Number two, from a more logical perspective in keeping us safe, it also allows us to prevent potential dangers. If we listen to someone tell us a story about them going to a certain area, it then might stop us from going to that area and getting potentially hurt or something like that. Two reasons, the emotional side and the logical side. Stories are so important and they allow us to connect and engage with people. So the question is, how do you become a better storyteller? How do you engage people when speaking? These 3 tips will tell you exactly how. Number 1, I want you to get really comfortable starting your stories and using the word imagine. The most expensive real estate in the whole world is somebody's imagination, their mind's eye. The imagination has the ability to create anything that we want, including connecting with somebody. When I tell you the word imagine, as I did at the start of this video, I said imagine you were transported back to an ancient civilization. What came into your mind? Was it pyramids? Was it the Colosseums? Was it the corner shop down the road? It does not matter what came into your mind. What matters is that you were engaged. Something did come into your mind. You lent me that 5 seconds of real estate in your mind, that 5 megabytes of processing power to imagine what I wanted you to. And when you buy into something that small, you have the potential to buy into anything else, whether that's a product, a sale, a job. The word imagine it brings us back to our childlike state. We were so imaginative as children. Anything. My brother is the most imaginative person in the world. He's able to imagine the most craziest things. And as we get older, we tend to become more realistic and focus on only what we see. When I tell you to imagine something, you will notice your mind wanders. It paints images of itself. And that is not only fun, it also gets you to buy into what I want you to buy in. I recently made a TikTok or an Instagram reel about Dave. He recently released an album, The Boy Who Played the Harp. And one of the reasons why I made a video on it is because his imaginative language, The Boy Who Played the Harp. Such a beautiful soliloquy of words. Start your stories with imagine and notice how people jump from the edge of their seats. Number 2, descriptive. I'll just go with descriptive language. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Cool. Descriptive language. When you combine these two are Mr. and Mrs. When you combine imagery with descriptive language, you will get people to... It will be like you're reading to a group of children, basically. It can be 50-year-old CEOs. They can be 70-year-old old men. When you get them to imagine something and use descriptive language, that's when you really get buy-in. So let me give you an example, 2 examples. One, I'm going to tell you just bland. The second I'm going to give you will be much more descriptive. Number 1, I was walking to the park and I found money on the floor. I then picked up that money and I went to get some fruit. I went home and I recorded this video. Pretty standard. Second, so right outside, I went outside today and it was grey. It was so grey, it was raining. I don't even know why I went out, but I did. I forced myself to go out. I was walking and then something told me to look down. I don't know what. But then I looked down, kind of grazed my knee while doing it, but it's okay. Because what happened is I saw a bright purple £20 note. It wasn't even like scrumpled up. It was so crisp. It was like it was meant for me. So I obliged. I picked it up. And then I started to think to myself, wow, if you didn't go out today, you would not have got that blessing. That's the reward you get for risking going out in the rain, in the cold. You didn't want to, but you did. So I picked up that £20 note. Then I decided to go to Sainsbury's. And then I thought, you know what? You deserve what you want to get. So I got myself a little fruit. I got myself my daily shopping with that £20. And then I went home. I ate that fruit, I ate that food, and it gave me the energy to record this video. Completely made up story, by the way. But imagine if somebody told you the first story as opposed to the second. Who would you be more inclined to have a conversation with? Who would you be more inclined to buy from? Number 2, why? Because I told you a story. I used descriptive language and I got you to imagine. The first example did none of that. The first example was like a news reporter telling you the facts. Number 2 was a creative illustration where I got you involved. I got you, the listener, involved in my story by getting you to imagine. Let me put it here. Hopefully you can see this. So, number 3. These are all in one, so I'm just going to write one. You know what? Let me just redo it. So just so you remember, imagine, use the word imagine. Use descriptive language and use all these 3 things. hand gestures, body language, and facial expressions. One, two, and tres. The trifecta. Now, hopefully you know by now, no worries if not, I'm going to tell you. 75% of communication is non-verbal. The other 25% is verbal. So it's what we say. Which means that 75% of communication is how you do these three things. It's how you hand gesture, it's your body language, and it's also your facial expressions. One sec, I've got a delivery.
Hello.
Hi mate, you okay?
There you
Thank
go.
you so much. Have a nice
No
day,
worries.
mate.
See you,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Cheers. People judge what you say based on these three things, mainly. And it's so interesting because going into an interview, you focus so much on the content, on the answers, but you never focus on these three things. But this is what will determine a big chunk of if you get the job or not. The reason why when you combine these three things with the imagery, the imagine, and the descriptive language, is these all work in tandem with each other. These all work together. When you're telling a story and something bad happens, or something scary happens, or something disastrous happens, something good happens, I did it then. When I said the word good, I smiled naturally. People should be able to relate and understand to your story without saying any words, simply based on these three things: your hand gestures, your body language, and your facial expressions. We are all actors at the end of the day. Every time you walk outside your house, you are acting. We are all actors. And actors down to a T can use hand gestures, body language, and facial expressions. If you include all of these things into your stories, when you're telling stories at work, to your family, to your spouse, to your friends, over social media, you will become so much more engaging. I can't stress it enough. And if you don't use any of these, then I actually feel good. Because if you start to implement these, you will realize how much you've been missing out on. At first, it may feel unnatural, but you will get used to it. My name is Tion. I help professionals take back control of their career using communication to become more engaging, more descriptive, and more engaged. My name is Tion. I help professionals take back control of their career using communication to lead team meetings, to network, and to become more engaging. If you would like to work with me one-to-one, then click the link in the description below to book a call with either me or my team. Thank you for watching.